And Washington law enforcement can now use force to detain people once again, but with some restrictions. Governor Inslee signed a new bill into law last week clarifying the state's existing police reform laws that took effect last year.
Now, KREM 2's Amanda Rowley has more tonight on how this affects police response and what both sides are saying about the change.
One of the top concerns law enforcement had with Washington state's series of police reform laws was the ambiguous language. Now, House Bill 2037 addresses this concern by making it clear when police can use force to stop people from fleeing a temporary investigative detention, otherwise known as a Terry stop. Governor Inslee signed the Terry stop bill into law last week, effective immediately.
I think this bill, as written, strikes a great balance to allow officers to keep everyone safe.
You are under arrest at this time.
The original police reform laws didn't allow police to use force to temporarily detain someone, meaning potential suspects could simply leave.
The ambiguity is what prevented action at times, right? Because law enforcement couldn't be confident in the actions they were taking. And whether it would be legal or not.
But under the new law, police may use physical force to detain someone if it prevents them from leaving the area or to stop an immediate threat. However, they cannot use force when a detained person is being compliant.
This does now allow us to have those tools back to detain them and be able to prevent them from hopefully, ideally, continuing down that crime spree.
Advocates for the police reform laws asked Inslee to veto Section 3 of the law, which clarifies physical force. In a letter from the Washington Coalition for Police Accountability, it believes the law will allow for practices it fought to restrict.
The reality is for people of color, this bill does not make us any safer. As a matter of fact, it puts us once more in the crosshairs of potential harm.
And so this would allow officers to use force at sort of the lowest levels of interaction when officers have the least amount of evidence connecting someone to wrongdoing.
Now, there are still some restrictions to police use of force. The law says police still must use reasonable care, such as first using appropriate de-escalation techniques.
Do you think it is enough?
No, I absolutely don't think it's enough. All right, it's just the beginning, because the reality is this should have been the standard all the way along. Not all of a sudden now we're going to use reasonable care.
But Spokane Police Chief Craig Meidel acknowledges most of the reform laws still remain intact. Now, this law again is in effect now, and similar bills were also introduced into this last legislative session, but a majority of them died. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.